recordings in the deadly police shooting of Sonya Massey. She's the Illinois woman killed by a sheriff's deputy earlier this month after calling for help about a possible prowler at her home. The recordings obtained by CBS News include a 911 call from Massey's mother pleading for non-combative officers to be sent to her daughter's home. CBS's Charlie DeMar now with the disturbing new developments. We do want to warn you, the video report is disturbing.
I heard somebody outside.
911 calls and dispatch audio are giving the fullest look yet at what happened to Sonya Massey on July 5th and 6th. Records appear to show she was experiencing a prolonged mental health episode. Her mother, Donna, called for help.
The mental people told me to call 911.
That was at 9:09 a.m., 16 hours before she was shot.
Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please. They're scary. I'm scared of the police. Sometimes they make the shit worse.
Then Massey herself called 911 just before 1 p.m. and called again early the next morning after she heard what she thought was a prowler outside her home.
I keep hearing stuff on the outside of my house, and it sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see?
Officer Sean Grayson and his partner were dispatched. The encounter with police escalated quickly. Body cam video clearly captured Officer Sean Grayson shooting Massey in her kitchen.
Headshot was a female. Headshot was a female. Units on scene are 1078, shots fired.
But later, dispatchers can be heard saying they were told Massey died due to a self-inflicted wound.
They're now saying self-inflicted.
The Massey family accuses the department of trying to cover up the cause of her death by claiming it was a self-inflicted gunshot.
He needs to go to jail for life. I don't want to see him in public ever again, honestly.
The Sangamon County Sheriff says former Deputy Sean Grayson admits to the shooting at least twice on body camera video and that there was never any confusion over how Sonya Massey died, and nor the department also denying those claims of a cover-up.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Jay Coffey back with an update into the tragic, sad death of Sonya Massey, killed by Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who has been charged. And we're going to go over some things here. There's a lot pointing to that the deputy has done a lot to try to cover this up. We'll get to it. But those calls there, the 911 calls and that report, how terrible, on top of just such a horrible situation to begin with, a woman killed by the sheriff's deputy. But to hear that she had been experiencing a mental health episode and her family had called multiple times, as she had as well, asking for a non-combative, non-prejudice officer, deputy to show up. The family took the time to call and specifically put it out there that they were worried about their daughter, that she did have some mental health problems, that she was experiencing an ongoing episode. And Sonya Massey called herself multiple times and asked for help, and it's like, how broken, messed up is the situation that, I get it, 911 is a hectic thing. There's tons of people calling in. There's a ton of calls, and they have to deem what calls are a priority or not a priority or whatever, and then disperse those calls out to different law enforcement and agency cars that are going to go show up and everything. But it's no excuse that information isn't getting passed along, especially very, very pertinent information. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it's a fast moving thing, tons of calls coming in, emergency, etc. But when multiple people are calling and saying, hey, when you go check this call out, this is our family member. She is a sweet woman, but she has some mental illness, and we are really worried about her, and we want you to send some sheriff's deputies that are going to be able to deal with the situation and help her, extend help to her, extend some compassion, not go and escalate a situation with a woman who is going through something and needs help. It's very, very sad. And then you hear the reports of a self-inflicted wound coming out. And how does that happen? Like, real talk, comment everyone. Was that this deputy who, among a lot of other shady stuff, as reports just came out, And there's some things I want to go over. Once again, please comment, everyone, share your thoughts about this horrific situation. Subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for updates and all that. There's some shady stuff. But in those reports right there, this self-inflicted report, was that his Hail Mary pass, hoping that if he threw it out there, self-inflicted, that other individuals that were on the scene, first responders or other sheriff's deputies, that they would peep what he was trying to do, that, hey, let's cover this up. It was self-inflicted. Is that what that was, that he was hoping someone else would pick up on it and they would scheme up a plan to make this look like that's what it was? Like, real talk, why would there be any reports or any confusion if that is what happened when it indeed wasn't? We saw what happened. A woman who needed help, once again, instead of being extended help and compassion, was gunned down. That's just shocking to me, how that even anyone fixes their face to even say that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me know what you take from that. But before we get to these reports real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this clip from when the family spoke out, where the daughter of Sonya Massey shared that, shared some things that her mother had shared with her.
Last thing my mom told me when she talked to me is that she gave me specific names. I'm gonna tell y'all, but she did tell me that the police was gonna kill her or these other people. And I'm like, why is that? And then after that, I didn't talk to her till like about 2 days later. She was like, she had told me her exact words that they gonna kill mommy, baby. And I got mad. We had got to it, and I'm like, stop saying it because you're supposed to be trying to find yourself. And then the day, like 30 minutes before she died, she called me and she texted me after what I was doing, but I didn't reply because I was asleep. But the day before that, I talked to her and she was like, I love you. She always kept saying, I love you, I love you. And then she texted me, she said, God always win, and Mom love you. And then I was supposed to go home with her that night too. But I was like, no, because I knew something was off. I was like, I'm gonna tell my dad bring me in the morning. And the next morning came, like 8 o'clock that morning, I told my dad I was trying to call my mom back. And then that's when they told me that she was killed.
All right, so you guys hear that there, her daughter speaking out at this press conference, sharing that her mother had shared with her that she was fearing that she would be KILLED. Let me know what you think about that, as well as everything else she spoke on and we covered thus far in this video. But I want to go ahead to this other stuff that I said earlier in the video is a bit shady to me, that's coming from Sean Grayson's reports that he filled out after the horrific scene that the whole world has seen. And first, I want to point out that most, if not almost all, of that body cam footage that has been out there came from his partner's camera. As can you believe this? His camera wasn't on. He didn't switch it on until after she had been KILLED, and he said that he thought he switched it on when he showed up. And to that I say, I thought these cameras are supposed to be automatic. I thought these cameras are supposed to just like be sound and motion activated, or why aren't they rolling all the time? And then if something needs to be referenced via footage, they can, go through it and pick out what they need to go over. That would seem to be the better way to go about things. I don't know if they're like logistically there's a memory issue. I don't know how it all works, like space to record everything or what, but the fact that officers can turn off body cams and stuff like that, or turn on, that kind of defeats the purpose of the body cam, in my opinion, which is supposed to be there to make the police be more honest and do their job more correctly and see what's going on. It's just insurance, I guess we could say. But his body cam was not on. And he said he thought he turned it on, but he didn't turn on until after she had already been SHOT fatally. Now, he wrote in his report that her saying, I rebuke you, that he interpreted this to mean she was going to KILL me. Grayson wrote, adding that when he drew his PISTOL and Massey ducked behind a counter that separated them, he moved around the obstacle, fearing that she was going to grab a weapon. And there's some other stuff here that the family has been calling for the resignation of the sheriff, Jack Campbell, who's refusing to step down because, if you haven't seen, this guy didn't exactly have a clean jacket in his history as a sheriff's deputy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get all into it. Maybe we'll cover that in a separate video. But his past was questionable at best, we'll say. And, you know, we're going to see more and more stuff come out, as always. And I'm going to do my best to keep everyone apprised and up to date on this. Everyone jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But from what you've seen so far in regards to all this, do you agree that his past should have disqualified him from even being a law enforcement officer in any capacity? Let me know. You know, that's the thing so often in many instances, whether cop or a sheriff's deputy in this case or whatever, KILLS is someone, or some other kind of situation goes down, we very often see that they officers or deputies in question had some very questionable things on their jacket. And I always point out, when it comes to cops, the fact that police seem to get slaps on the wrist or seem, when they are being reprimanded for something, it's not serious consequences. Nothing really happens. And I steadfastly stand by my stance that if these unions, these police unions and stuff that just blindly always seem to back the police, the blue line, as it's referenced to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like they always just blindly back these individuals rather than looking at a situation on a case-to-case basis. And they really put some kind of different protocol in place where individuals lost pay and got suspended or got fired, and there was more of like a zero tolerance policy based on their job. I feel like a lot of these cops that go out here and do horrible-ish wouldn't do it, more or less, is what I'm getting at, if they felt like that they would really pay for it. We've seen it over and over again where the unions back these guys no matter what they did, and they know that, you know. So a lot of these sick flux feel like they can just go out there and do whatever and they're gonna be good, and that's some bull-ish as well. Like I was stating earlier in this video, I just can't get over the fact that there was any kind of confusion, or in any way you heard it from a 911 personnel talking about self-inflicted. How does that even get thrown out there, man? You know what I mean? I think that was him trying to throw that Hail Mary pass and see if someone else would pick up on it and try and help them and cover this up. I don't know how they would even possibly go about doing that, but hell, they're the police. They can do damn near anything. Now, he's also calling into question saying he didn't know what was in that pot. You know, like he says, Sonya turned to face me holding the pot. I did not know what type of liquid that was boiling. 3 days after the incident, this report was written up. Again, you know, at this point, he's had time to sit here and try to strategize how to officially put this on paper, and you know, which isn't right neither. Why does he have days to go about doing this? You know, and I think at the time he had already been charged, which is a total conflict of interest as well. That at the point when an individual, and I'm not, when I say that, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe he had been charged. So that's a total conflict of interest. You're no longer just a normal police officer or sheriff's deputy on the job. You are a defendant, you know? So what sense does it make to allow you to sit here and put pen to paper, or pressing keys, putting together a story? You know, like, you can put together a whole plot at this point. Makes no sense. It says, I advised Sonya to put the boiling liquid down. Sonya stated she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus. She stated this twice. I interpreted this to mean that she was going to KILL me. We already read that, I'm sorry. As I approached the cabinet, Sonya stood up from a crouched position, grabbing the pot, raising it above her head, and throwing the boiling substance at me. I was in imminent fear of getting boiling liquid to my face or chest, which have caused great bodily harm or death. And it says here, and I don't know, I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing her throw it. She set it down, right? Is this a flat out lie? It says it's unclear from the video whether Massey attempted to toss the pan's contents, and she was obscured from view when Grayson fired 3 9mm rounds, one of which struck Massey just below the eye. His report then indicates he looked down to see liquid had, quote, hit my boots, and I observed steam coming from the cabinet area. I don't think that that's true. Comment, guys, for those who have really watched this footage. You know what I'm saying? It says by the time he completed the field report, July 9th, Grayson had been placed on administrative leave. So I guess he wasn't charged yet, but he was on leave, and days had passed. And I don't know, that just doesn't make sense to me. 4 days to pass, and I don't know, there's so much about this situation that just don't add up. The docket indicates he received department permission to review the body cam video, the bulk of it which had been recorded on the other deputy's camera. Grayson said he thought his was on when the first met Massey at the door, but he didn't turn it on until after the SHOOTING. The other deputy's report was not part of the release, which included 7 other officers' reports of their activities at the site of the SHOOTING, and all completed on July 6th and one completed July 7th, heavily redacted before release by a deputy who had a casual conversation with someone who was familiar with Massey. So a lot of this, like I said, just seems shady as fuck to me and doesn't seem to add up. And not only was he allowed to strategically have time to think and put this report together days after when, he wasn't charged, but he was on leave. I don't know. That's a messed up system right there, if you ask me, man. But there you have it. We now know Massey's family had called multiple times begging, for them to send someone who wasn't prejudiced, wasn't violent, someone who could handle a situation with an individual going through something with care. Please don't send someone who's combative and prejudiced, I believe was their exact quote. The family is calling for the head sheriff to step down, as they are not happy with the fact that this Deputy Grayson, who is charged, they felt his past on the job should have disqualified him from even working in that capacity at all. We heard from Sonya Massey's daughter, stating that her mother feared for her life and felt that someone's going to kill her. You heard what she said. And then these very funny style things about these reports and the body cam footage, and the fact that Grayson's camera wasn't even on. And I say funny style, ain't anything funny, haha. This is a sad, tragic, horrific situation. I'm saying funny style, like there seems to be some shady-ish going on. Multiple things that seem to me like an attempt at a cover-up. But let me know from what you take from all of it. As always, if you're new to the channel, I always want to hear from the people out there in the comment section. That's what this platform is all about, talking it up on different news topics. So let's get the discussion going. Stay tuned. I thank y'all for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next video. R.I.P. Sonya Massey. Will this sheriff's deputy be convicted and thrown in prison, or will he walk? Will a system that is just broken in so many ways continue to be even more broke? Stay tuned.